Hey everybody, this is Walt.
This is Max.
And you are listening to Terrasonic, All Things Horror Podcast.
Yes, we are as always Useless Info Inc. And thank you for joining us because we are taking on one of the most pivotal of all horror movies. It is The Shining.
The Shining.
Stanley Kubrick, 1980. There's that noise. There's the music, the Dies Irae playing on the ride to the hotel.
The opening theme,
right?
Yeah.
Now,
so ominous.
Yeah. And this comes from Hector Berlioz' Symphonie Fantastique.
Right.
The Witch's Sabbath section.
Right.
Yes. The characters in hell and hearing this ominous noise. Yeah.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah.
Already.
It's
already.
Creepy. It's
already
creepy,
we're
right?
deep in.
It's creepy, yeah.
We're knee deep in it already.
Yeah. So is it true that outtakes of this were used for Blade Runner, the original theatrical version?
That's what I've heard.
Or is that just a thing?
I don't know.
Like,
I've heard that, but I don't know if I believe it or not.
It seems, I honestly don't know.
Although I've seen other B movies where they have either copied it or taken excerpts.
Yeah.
Like one film in particular is The Car. Do you remember that with James Brolin?
Oh, yeah, The Car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a devil-possessed car.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was awesome.
At the end of it, they use what sounds like this.
Okay.
It's very similar. I don't know if it's exactly this piece.
Okay.
But it's very similar.
Are you talking about the music?
Yeah, the music.
Okay, I was talking about the visuals.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the visuals were not there in The Car.
Yeah, no, for Blade Runner, though.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah.
All right, now
yeah.
I get you.
So for the theatrical,
I thought you meant the music.
Yeah, no, for the original theatrical version at the end, where they're like driving.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard that, but I don't know if that's just a
Right.
rumor or if that's
Right, I think we
substantiated
touched on
or
that, and I forgot
something,
about that, right.
Yeah. But this music is it's pretty common.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it shows up a lot. Okay, so this is
Wendy Carlos, who was formerly Walter Carlos.
right, who'd done the electronic scoring for Clockwork Orange.
Exactly.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah. He was famous for switched on Bach,
Right.
the original synthesizer version of classical music. Right. So she did this one particularly,
Yes.
and other things in this.
There's only two songs that made the soundtrack, but we'll get into that.
But
we'll get into that.
Okay. So first up is the interview, right?
Yes.
And so we kind of cut between Jack and Wendy at home.
Right.
And Wendy's
In Boulder.
reading. Right. Wendy's reading Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Any significance to that? There must be, right?
It
There
seems
must
like
be.
nothing is accidental in this film.
No. There's I haven't really thought it out, and I haven't read Catcher in the Rye since I was
I know, in
17
high school or
when you were supposed to read it. So
Right.
But I'm sure there's something there. But in the lobby, Jack's looking at a Playgirl.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Also, what the articles are in the Playgirl, talking about incest.
Which, can you actually see that, or could you have seen that in earlier releases?
No.
And you can see it on a Blu-ray now.
Now
right?
you see it. And also
Okay.
because people have been talking about it forever. It was kind of like a
Right.
little Easter egg before there were Easter eggs in film.
But could you actually see that?
No, in the original, no.
Yeah, you can
get
see
one
that.
glimpse.
Yeah.
I know
it's very,
we've seen this movie how many times now?
Too many
So
times.
every so often, I didn't know it at first, but you're like, what's the magazine he's reading?
Yeah.
And then finally...
And there's a woman on the cover.
Yeah.
So you
With a
wouldn't...
dude in the background.
Because Playgirl is like, it's dudes.
Yeah, it's dudes.
naked dudes.
It's all swinging cocks.
Are they actually swinging?
I don't know.
So what do you take that to mean, if anything? Or it's just like
Number
a joke?
one, it could be, a lot of people say, we read too much into this film. But
yeah, I think some people
But
do.
I don't. I mean, there are
See
documentaries.
Room 237.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoyed that documentary.
I enjoyed it,
but there are so many conspiracy theories.
But I think most of those people are completely whacked. Quite honest. I enjoy it as a study of how people can go down the rabbit hole.
Right.
With something like this, with a movie that is rich in production design and details.
Right.
You can basically do that with any movie.
If you really,
if you devote time to it,
Right.
and some of these people wrote books about their theories.
I know, yeah.
You know?
It's all over the place now, especially.
Yeah, you can decide that any movie is about the Holocaust or Native American genocide or
Genocide,
whatever.
right,
Or,
right.
you know,
Indian genocide.
It's an easy game to play,
Right.
quite honestly.
And there was an associate of Kubrick that has looked at all these theories, and he said that he was laughing his ass off at all of them.
I don't blame him.
That
Yeah.
he wasn't thinking about any of this stuff that
Yeah.
you guys are talking about, that
Yeah.
you're reading into. But you got to admit, there are certain things, once you see and hear some of these theories, that you go, okay, that's interesting. It's interesting.
Well, the Native American stuff,
Yeah.
which we'll get into.
Right.
That I can see.
Yeah, we're jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah, but honestly, if Kubrick wanted to make a Holocaust movie,
Why didn't he just
I
make
think he would have made a Holocaust movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think he would have embedded it as like a secret
Right.
theme in something else.
He made a Vietnam movie, so why
Yeah,
wouldn't he? Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
a gritty Vietnam movie.
Okay, so we don't know what the Playgirl is all about, right?
Well, like I said, we have that on the cover, what
Yeah.
the articles are inside.
Yes.
And one is talking about incest.
Right.
And then there's another interview with David Soul from Starsky and Hutch talking about the selling of David Soul's soul. So is that a little foreshadowing, perhaps?
Okay. Yeah.
And also, what hotel has Playgirl magazine
Just sitting there in the lobby.
Just sitting there in the lobby,
it's a family
right?
hotel.
Did he bring it with him?
Yeah.
You know, so
And
there are
then-
questions.
But he leaves it there.
Yeah, right.
So-
well, he didn't want Wendy to find it.
I kind of feel like it was a joke.
Okay.
In a way.
Yeah.
I feel like it maybe wasn't meant to be noticed. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just
No,
conjecturing.
I don't know either,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
once you see some of the ideas
Once you
behind
see it, you
theories,
can't unsee it.
right?
You
yeah.
can't unthink it.
So you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, why that magazine?
Yeah. Yeah.
In particular.
Yeah.
Let's keep
Okay,
moving. Let's
okay,
keep
okay.
moving.
So in the interview,
We're already getting stuck in
well,
it.
yeah, I know. This is what happens. We're running around the maze,
Right.
going, "Ooh,
Daddy!
Daddy!"
I'm coming down!
So the whole thing is the hotel is shut down between October and May,
Right.
and he's going to be the caretaker there.
They're supposed to be there for about 5 months, I think, right?
Yeah, that's how it works out. More than that, October to May, that's like 7 months.
I can't do math.
Obviously not. Yeah.
It's not my strong suit.
Yeah. And Jack is perfectly happy to be there because he wants to write. But he doesn't seem to be considering how that's going to be on his wife and child.
Not
right?
at all. No.
Like, his child is going to miss a whole year of school.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right.
And that's a child who needs some social adjustment,
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah,
So
right.
it's like, yeah, what's his wife supposed to do?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because she's not teaching him anything. She's not homeschooling
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything like that during the film.
It just seems to be already he's a little bit dismissive of his family.
Yeah, from jump.
And we heard the story about Charles Grady and his wife. Mr. Grady killed his family with an axe in 1970.
Right.
And Jack claims that his wife will love this story because she's a ghost story addict.
Right.
But
a
we-
horror aficionado.
But we never see him tell her the story. We never
No.
get any hint that she knows the story, right?
Right, not at all.
So it just sounds like he made this up.
Yeah.
You know?
He wanted the job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was just,
so he just lied
yeah,
about it.
Exactly, yeah.
And once again, like you said, he has no concern about her feelings or
No.
what she has to say about the whole situation
Yeah.
whatsoever. I mean, the drive up, he seems annoyed from jump
Yeah.
with the two of them.
Jumping ahead a little bit, right? Let's
Okay, right,
let's
right,
work
right.
way up there. Okay, so we cut to Danny talking to Tony,
Right.
the little boy who lives in his mouth.
Right.
Yeah. So we find out later he's got this shining thing, right?
Yeah.
So is Tony his sort of way of expressing these thoughts that he's getting through some psychic way? Is that
And dealing with
right?
it.
Like
yeah, 'cause
that's
he's
how
a child.
he's
I
a
don't-
child. So
he doesn't know
can't
how
really-
else to
so he-
relate to this
Exactly.
power, this psychic power.
That's how we read it, right?
Right.
And Tony doesn't want to go to the hotel. Tony can tell.
Oh, come on,
there's
Tony,
something.
tell me. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he sees this when we first see the blood.
Yeah, out of the elevator.
Yeah. And the two sisters.
The Grady daughters.
Now, okay, that's an interesting point because they're frequently identified as the Grady daughters. But what's his name? The guy. What's the guy's name?
Charles
Guy
or Delbert Grady?
no, the guy whom Jack was interviewing with.
Ullman. Stuart
Yes,
Ullman.
yes, that guy.
Yeah.
He says that the Grady daughters were like 8 and 10 or something.
Right.
Like they're 2 years apart.
Okay.
And these two girls are obviously twins.
Twins, yeah.
Right? So
How does that work?
yeah, they're usually called the Grady daughters or Grady twins, but something isn't quite working there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
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 I don't know if they're intended to be those girls or like I don't. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
I have no
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
But it's one of the creepiest scenes that everyone talks about.
Oh, my God, yeah.
When you talk about The Shining.
Oh, yeah,
So many
yeah,
people
yeah.
are still freaked out by the Grady girls, the Grady twins.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
Okay, so Danny kind of he faints, right? He passes out in
Yeah.
these visions,
He
right?
has an episode
So then
when he
there-
was brushing his teeth. Or,
yeah. Then there
Or
were the,
dropping a deuce, whatever it was.
I think it was brushing his teeth.
While he was dropping a deuce.
So there was the doctor, right?
Yeah.
So the whole Tony thing happened after Jack dislocated Danny's shoulder.
Danny's arm.
Yeah, while he was drunk.
Yeah.
And you see the way Wendy's playing down this incident.
Yeah, and the doctor is just staring at her.
Yeah.
Thinking, do I have to call child services?
Yeah.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
I can't believe that you're acting like this is nothing.
Yeah. And she claims it had a positive effect because Jack has been sober for 5 months, I believe.
5 months around there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So closing day. Now this is when they're on the ride up. So back to what you were saying about
driving
his,
up in the
his
Rockies.
attitude. Yeah. He doesn't want to be in the car with them, does he?
He seems so pissed off and so short with them.
Yeah.
You know, when Danny says, I'm hungry, and he's like, well, you should have eaten your breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like, get the kid something to eat. You didn't bring some snacks? He's a little kid.
Yeah.
Every parent brings snacks along for a kid.
That's just what
right?
you do. And Wendy brings up the Donner Party.
Was it Wendy?
Yeah, because that's what you want to say when you're going to spend 7 months holed up
Yeah.
in a snowy landscape, right?
And then Jack explains what the Donner Party was.
Yeah.
That they had to resort to cannibalism to survive. And Danny says, I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
And Jack says...
Right. See? He saw it on the TV.
Yeah.
With the fucking eyebrows and the crazy grimaces, the smiles that he does in this film.
Now
he's fucking cracked from jump almost.
Now let's talk about that for a moment because one issue. Now the original novel was by Stephen King. Of course.
Yes. And he did not like this movie.
He did not like this. There were significant changes made, and one issue that Stephen King had is he envisioned somebody who was more normal.
Yeah.
His idea was that the father starts out like a good, normal father,
right,
and goes nuts under the influence of these spirits.
Yeah.
So his thing was, well, Jack Nicholson seems batshit from the beginning, so you don't have that contrast.
He's disturbed from the beginning.
Exactly. So what do you think about that? Do you think it would have been a different movie, certainly, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but do you think it would have been a better movie? I mean, it has a certain effect like this, because I feel like you never quite know how much of it is Jack just being nuts and how much of it is the spirit thing,
right,
and how much of it is just like the spirits have given him leave to let out his full inner darkness or something.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
What's your thought on that?
Well, it's hard to say, because the movie exists and we've seen it a million times. And then there is the novel.
And there was that other version.
Which other version?
TV version.
Oh, yeah. That miniseries. It was like a 2-part miniseries. Yeah, it was horrible.
It was bad,
It was horrible.
Which was more faithful, but...
Right, I just did not like it.
I didn't like it either, yeah.
This movie has a lot more going on for it. And it is Kubrick's vision of
it is very much
King's
Kubrick's vision,
work. And Stephen King actually wrote a screenplay for The Shining.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
And Kubrick didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
Because he thought King's writing was weak. He actually said that, which is kind of fucked up to say.
But isn't it kind of...
I don't know. I like some of... He's very descriptive, but...
Honestly, I haven't read him in a long time, so he may have grown as a writer. But I feel like during this era, he wasn't the best. Good storyteller.
Okay.
Which is kind of why I prefer the movies based on his novels rather than the novels themselves. Yeah, just as a writer, I don't know.
Yeah?
I haven't read that
much.
Like you said,
it's more horror storytelling then. I haven't read a Stephen King novel in forever.
I have not since I was a kid. Basically.
Yeah, since I was in my teenage years.
Yeah.
I like this vision. I like Kubrick's vision.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's haunting.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And I think that's why so many people read so much into it.
Okay.
That nothing is by accident. Nothing is an accident in the film. Because it's so haunting and it's unsettling.
It is unsettling. And do you think it is the ambiguities?
Possibly.
Like little things,
possibly,
like the twins thing? And
little things moving around in the background, the nonsensical architecture of the Overlook.
Oh, yeah.
Which we'll get into.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, so that's a good
we're already jumping ahead.
Yeah. All right, so they get to the hotel. It's being packed up for the winter. Interesting comment on this. Back to Stephen King for a moment. He had stayed at a similar hotel in Colorado. And what was it called? Do we have the name of that? I think it was called the Stanley or something.
Was it the
right?
Stanley?
Is that what you got? There actually is a hotel there near, like, north of Boulder. I think it was called the Stanley Hotel, something like
Perhaps.
that.
Right.
Anyway, he and his wife and family, they ended up staying there on the final night before it shut down for the winter.
Okay.
And he said it was just abandoned. It was basically them and the staff, like a skeleton crew. So that's kind of where he got the idea. Imagine being stuck in this place, like through the whole wintertime and what that might do to you. And he was a
Right.
rider at the time, so he could kind of relate to the kind of frustrations that might happen. So partly this comes from a real place.
Right.
Yeah.
A real experience. that he
Exactly.
had.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But the hotel is not the hotel that we see the exterior of.
Right.
The exterior of the hotel is the Timberline Lodge
In Oregon? Yeah, in Oregon, yeah.
And if you compare the pictures of that to the pictures of the actual hotel in Colorado, the one in Oregon is much more sinister. Like
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
why they use that exterior.
Right.
But the interiors, of course, are all a soundstage.
EMI
Yeah.
Sound Studios. Or
Uh,
EMI...
in London.
In
right?
London, right.
Yeah, yeah.
EMI
they're-
Studios.
Yeah, and they're partly based on a hotel in Yosemite.
Right.
So you've got like 3 hotels and fictional hotels mixed up in this whole thing. Basically.
I remember the first time I saw it, I thought it was all shot on location.
It looks.
Those sets
it looks,
are
oh,
massive.
Those sets are incredible.
They're massive.
They're absolutely
and
incredible.
detailed.
Yeah, so big in fact that they say that the gold room wouldn't actually fit inside the hotel. That
There's
you
a joke
see.
in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't fit in there. Okay. Right.
yeah.
Once again, going back to the architecture of...
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
It makes no sense. And you were talking about the interview.
yeah, because
Let's get to
mention that. Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
Jack goes in for the interview with Ullman, you see him walking towards his office, and there's much more hotel behind Ullman's office.
Yeah.
Strangely, he has a window right behind him. That window should not be there. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
impossible. It's physically impossible to have a
Exactly.
window there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, the subtle things that are unsettling to make you feel like maybe something supernatural is occurring around everyone.
Yeah.
And they have no idea about what it is, except for maybe Scatman Carruthers
Yeah.
and Danny. You know, Scatman's great in this. But anyway, so, all right. So,
The architecture, it reminds me a little. Have you ever heard of the Winchester Mystery House?
yes, I've heard of it.
You ever been there?
No, I haven't.
I grew up in that area.
Yeah.
So it was one of the few tourist attractions
Okay.
that we had. And it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
The story is that Sarah Winchester's father invented the husband,
Winchester
I think.
rifle, right,
Winchester
yeah.
rifle. And the ghosts of all the victims of the rifle haunted her.
Yeah.
And some spirit medium told her to build this house.
Yeah.
To kind of confuse them. Like hallways would go nowhere,
To kind of
stairways would
trap
go
them.
nowhere. And and you go through and it is a complete architectural nightmare. And I kind of wonder if there's some sort of reference here
Maybe.
to that or something.
Perhaps. They actually
Yeah.
made a movie about that.
Did they really?
Fairly recently, yeah.
Like
called Winchester, yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I
funny.
watched it, but I fell asleep.
Okay.
That tells you. That's my review. That's my minute review of
I
Winchester.
fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
Yeah. So there are some Native American motifs.
Everywhere in the
yeah,
hotel.
in the hotel.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And at some point, okay, I think we get there a little bit later. Yeah. Okay, so Danny's in the game room.
Right, the
and
games room.
he sees the sisters.
Yeah.
And this time, he watches them walk away.
Yeah.
So they're occupying the same space now, right?
Right.
Earlier, they're like a vision.
Yeah.
But now he's seeing the actual ghosts.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he's playing darts in the games room. They're standing in the doorway.
Yeah.
Then they clasp hands and they turn and walk away.
Oof, yeah. The clasping hands is even creepier.
Right.
And there's a hedge maze, as if it weren't creepy enough, right?
I know, right?
Okay, this is where we find out that it was built in 1907 on the site of an Indian
Burial ground,
because
yeah.
that's always a good idea, right?
Right. And then he even talks about how Indians attacked
Yeah.
the hotel at one point, many years back.
While they were building it.
That's
now,
right.
was that still happening in 1907?
I just don't know.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't make
it
any
seems
sense.
like that was earlier. Like, yeah, it
Right.
seems like there's a bit of legend there or something. Yeah.
And why would you brag about that? You know,
Yeah.
why would you brag about that?
Yeah,
shit?
yeah,
I have
yeah,
no
yeah.
idea.
So we see the gold ballroom.
The gold
And
room.
we meet. I can't call him Dick Halloran. I just call him Scatman Crothers. I mean, he's Scatman Crothers, right?
Yeah, he is.
I always forget that his name is Dick Halloran, the head chef.
Yep.
He knows that they call Danny Doc.
Yeah.
Right. He's talking to Wendy, but
He's psychically.
you see from Danny's perspective,
Right.
he turns his head and says, "Hey Doc, you want some ice cream?"
There's this ringing in the background.
Yeah.
Like his ear is ringing.
And that's when he sits him down and explains The Shining.
Right.
The psychic thing that he can do, and that Danny can do, and certain people can do.
Right. Him and his grandmother used to be able to do it.
They had a
He
psychic
explained,
connection.
yeah, that they would have whole conversations in their head together.
And he says some places shine, like the Overlook. right? Then Danny asks about room 237. And then you see the really affable, friendly Dick get mad.
First,
right?
he kind of acts like a kid himself. He's like, you scared of anything in this hotel?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not scared of anything.
Yeah.
Then he asks about room 237, and he goes, he gets angry.
He gets angry, which you know is coming from...
You got no business in there, so stay out.
It's coming from fear.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
because he knows that room is evil.
Exactly.
And in the original novel, it wasn't 237, it was 217.
Okay,
in the novel.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So do you know why they changed it?
Because of the hotel where they were filming the exteriors.
Timberline, yeah.
They didn't want anyone to avoid renting room 217.
Yeah.
So they came up with 237.
Which does not exist in the hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a number that they did not have room-wise.
Yeah.
But to this day, people, when they go there, they want room 217.
You pull up the website, and it says it right there.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to me that...
I'd stay in that room. Fuck it.
Yeah, that there was a time when... Because now everybody knows. If you put something in a horror movie, it'll be famous.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone kind of want to go there, right?
Right.
There actually was a time when that wasn't the case. Where people assumed that wasn't the case.
Right.
Right? I feel like you didn't have, like, rabid horror fandom back then.
No, not so much. No, now everything is kind of fandom, like you said.
Yeah.
Geek culture and what have you. So, even the Amityville Horror House, so many people would go there, where they had to change the facade and the whole thing.
So it's a month later, and Danny's on his, is it a big wheel?
It's a big wheel.
It's a mock
big wheel.
So it's a
cheapy
knockoff.
big wheel.
It's like the Kmart version of big wheel.
Right, exactly. But I love the sound when he's driving around the hotel with the wood and then on the rug.
Yeah, I love
the wood
details
rug,
like that. This is where you really see the Steadicam.
Yeah.
Which was a fairly recent invention, right?
Around that time, yes.
Yeah. And Kubrick just loved it. All over this movie.
It follows him all around, which is great. It works really, really well.
Most of this movie is the Steadicam following characters through the space.
Right.
Like either behind or sometimes in front. Sometimes kind of following, like, laterally as they move through different rooms.
Right.
There are a few rare zooms, but it doesn't happen a lot. It's usually the camera is usually moving with the characters.
Yeah.
Or it's stationary.
And the cinematography was by John Alcott, who also worked with him on Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, 2001 Space Odyssey. It has that feel.
The framing is very similar.
Yeah.
It's a very much a Kubrick style going on.
Yeah. You can't look at this movie and not know it's Kubrick.
Yeah.
Especially at this time, knowing his body of work.
And every time Danny turns a corner, you expect him to run into something.
Yeah.
And it's a great study in just tension.
Absolutely.
But nothing happens.
Not at first.
Not yet, So Jack is woken up at 11 a.m. for breakfast.
Right.
And he feels like he's been here before.
Yeah. He gets served breakfast in bed, too. I don't know why he hates his wife. And she brings him, over easy, sunny side up eggs and the whole thing and bacon.
Yeah.
Right? He's an asshole. But we're going to get into this for a minute. This is the first you see Jack looking at himself in the mirror. We'll get into this.
Okay.
All right. Just remind me, because I'll forget.
Okay. So he's in the Colorado room. He's knocking this ball against this it's like a Native American kind of design on the wall.
Yeah. It's like a mural, Native American mural or something, right?
Yeah, so people have made something of this. I think there's different ways to read it. You can say that maybe he's somehow disrespecting the spirits.
Right.
And they're kind of like, and that kind of makes them mad, and they kind of rise up, or I don't know. There's various ways to look at it.
There are so many theories out there, but like I said, there's too many.
There are too many.
After a while.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There are just too many of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting, take on how it starts with Jack and the whole nine, especially in that room.
You can take it literally in the space of the movie and say something like that there are angry spirits from these murdered Native Americans who are kind of, they bubble up and they take revenge on white men, basically. Or I think you could take it in a more thematic, symbolic way. Mm-hmm. Just think of it as, in this case, like Wendy is the victimized one, because she ends up wearing some outfit like that, right? Some Native American outfit. Kind of the victim of this, white man's oppression,
right?
In a way, and there's a thematic resonance with the Holocaust and Native Americans
right.
And at some point he says white man's bird.
White man's bird in the bar with Lloyd, right.
So there are different ways I think you can go with it.
Right.
Quite honestly, yeah. So Wendy and Danny are out in the maze. And it's worth noting that the Stanley Lodge, neither Timberline actually had this maze.
This hedge maze, right.
This is constructed in London. And they did do part of the exterior in London as well, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Ullman is walking them to the hotel. You see the outside of the maze.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And
I guess they had a facade made up outside of...
That was all constructed. And it's Tuesday. Wendy's opening a large can of fruit cocktail. You remember that fruit cocktail?
Oh, yeah, Libby's,
Yeah.
That was a treat as a kid.
Yeah.
Loved that shit.
Disgusting.
Now, I couldn't eat
it's like
couldn't eat it now. It's all
syrupy,
syrup.
like,
Yeah. It's a giant industrial
It's huge.
can. You got to eat that shit for the next week.
Yeah,
plus.
exactly. Yeah.
Gigantic.
Yeah, the TV news is not good. It's like crime and a missing woman.
Right.
Yeah, there's a snowstorm predicted.
Right.
And Danny stops at room 237 on his ride.
That's right,
But we don't see anything happening at that point.
No.
He just sort of stops there.
He looks at it.
Yeah.
He tries the doorknob.
Yeah.
Then he gets back on his bike and rolls.
And he keeps going, yeah. So this is when Wendy interrupts Jack typing.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes off on her.
Yeah, and actually, Jack Nicholson suggested that scene. That was an idea that he had.
Really?
To put that in the movie.
Okay.
He said it was based on real life when he broke up with his ex-wife because he was working on the movie himself and he got kind of nasty with her. So he suggested it to Kubrick and they wrote it into the script and filmed it.
I'm wondering something. Based on her reaction, do you think this is the Jack... She has seen this side of Jack before?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
When he was drunk or just in general?
That's hard to say.
Because her reaction, there's something ambiguous about it.
She kind of shuts down, though.
Yeah, it's sort of like...
Defense mechanism in my mind. I didn't mean to cut you off with that.
Yeah, no, it's hard for me to tell whether she's... Okay, this is... When Jack is like this, I need to just be like this.
Right.
Or if it's more like, what's going on with Jack right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could go either way. It could go either way.
I can't quite tell. Like, it's unclear. I mean, I think that he has been abusive before.
I think that's pretty
particularly
clear.
while drunk.
Yeah.
But how far has he gone, I think, is unclear.
That's unclear.
Like, is he going farther than he usually does right now?
Right.
Or is this Jack when he gets pissed off? And she's seen this before, and she knows that she's just got to be...
Escape for a minute. Yeah.
It's really
Get
uncomfortable.
out of there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Why don't you start right now by getting the fuck out of here?
Oh, my God.
There's another little thing in that scene where she walks in, you have Jack in frame. You have Jack Nicholson in frame.
Yeah.
There's a chair behind him.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice this?
And the chair
disappears. Now, I think it's probably just a continuity issue.
Exactly. Yeah.
But people read into that,
They've
too.
read so much into that.
Like, is there a ghost in the chair?
So much.
Yeah, so, but... So there are all these little things that people... Yeah. And I have to admit, I got caught up into it, too, in the beginning. You're like, oh, shit, I never noticed that. Oh, wow, okay. Maybe there's something to that. But then after a while, you kind of go, phooey.
That's kind of how I am about
Phooey.
it. Yeah.
It's just a well-made, suspenseful,
Yeah.
crazy film.
One thing we've talked about before is how some of the best horror movies, they key into something that's a real-life anxiety.
Yeah.
The real-life anxiety here is domestic violence.
Yeah.
Quite obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a horror movie portrayal of that very real, violent, horrible thing.
Right, yeah.
You know, so it's very easy for it to key into those fears that all of us have. Because
Right.
he's abusive towards the wife and the son. Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, people don't see that. They see more of the supernatural aspect.
I have evolved with, like when I was a kid, it was a horror movie.
Yeah, it was a horror movie.
But now,
No, I know.
grown up, now you see,
But I talk to
Yeah.
people about it all the time, and they always say the same thing. Oh, it's not that deep, is it? Well, apparently, it kind of is.
Yeah, I think it is.
People are writing papers on it and
Yeah.
doing documentaries and
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It has deep layers.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just veneer. There's some stuff going on in this film.
Yeah.
And Kubrick really pulled that off. Anyway, but we're once again getting off synopsis.
No, we're getting deep into it. Okay, Thursday, snowstorm. Now we see Jack kind of losing it.
Yeah.
And he's got that lobotomized look.
Oh, I love that. Is that the scene? Yeah, right. Where he stands there staring.
Yeah.
Minimal eye movement and then a slight smile.
Yeah.
It's creepy as fuck.
This is what Kubrick's DP dubbed the Kubrick stare.
Yeah.
Because you see it recurring in his movies, right? Yeah.
Clockwork Orange.
2001.
2001,
Yeah.
But I mean, the way Nicholson pulled that off with just that slight eye movement up, like he's seeing something.
Yeah.
And then just a slight smile, the hint of insanity, like his sanity is breaking.
Yeah.
Right there, then.
Yeah.
And we're witnessing it.
Yeah, it's something. So the telephone lines are down. Wendy's on the transmitter of the
course.
Forest Service. And this is where she's wearing a Native American top.
Right.
Or something, right? And I think, again, this could be kind of literal in that maybe the spirits are compelling her wardrobe choices or something, you know?
Okay.
It's like, it could be like a protective thing. But I think it could also be thematic because she's set up like as the victim of,
Right.
of the slaughter
Right.
to come, right? Yeah.
There's so many things you could read into
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I keep saying, it's just...
Like, I think the Native American stuff, I do think there's something in there. I don't think the movie is actually about the Native American genocide.
But it's an underlying theme
exactly.
there.
There's
Yes.
thematic stuff going on, yeah.
Well, there's also the Calumet baking soda.
True, yeah,
Which,
yeah.
That's a
Don't think
deep
it's about
bit.
the Holocaust, though.
No,
I
with the
don't think-
typewriter and the Eagles, German typewriter.
Yeah.
The changing of the color of the typewriter.
That
We're
was-
getting into bits like
That
way
was,
too soon, but
that was
fuck it.
Kubrick's typewriter.
Yeah.
That's why I used it.
And they also said that maybe he typed up all work and no play.
I don't think Kubrick did that.
That's what I've read, that he supposedly did that.
Why would you do that when you can have some intern do it?
That's what I read. That's what I read. I couldn't see him doing that either, unless
I-
that's sociopathic. Sit there and do that. It's like a
I
whole
don't
novel
know.
worth of.
Really?
We're talking about a whole ream of paper.
Really?
That's what I read. I'm not saying that he did. I'm just saying
Okay.
that that's what I read.
I think that's.
I'm just playing devil's
I
advocate
think
with
it's
that
dubious.
shit. Yeah, at
I
best.
mean, come on,
at
he's
best.
a director. He's got
He's
better
got the
things
time to do that.
Yeah.
He's got the time to do that.
So this time, Danny's on the big wheel, and he runs into the twins.
Right. Turns that corner, that impossible corner.
Yeah, and this is the first time he sees them murdered. Right?
Yeah, he gets the flashes.
Yeah.
Come and play with us, Danny.
Oh man.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
ever. And he shuts his eyes, and he talks to Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And right over them, there's an exit sign.
Okay.
You know what I mean? People
Yeah.
have read into that, too.
I'm
like
sure.
telling him, get out.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
So then Danny goes into the room where Jack is to get his fire engine.
Right. Oh, what's the movie that's playing on that
Oh, what was it?
Summer of 42,
Okay.
where older woman seduces a younger man?
Okay.
That has some sort of significance, too, that I read about. Because when you see Danny in the bathroom, he's
Yeah.
wearing a baseball jersey that has the number 42 on it.
Uh-huh.
So I can't believe how many people have done all this research on this.
God.
And it's still kind of swimming in my brain since we were going to do this podcast.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make mention of these little things.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning. So Wendy has said that Jack was taking a nap, but he's sitting up in bed.
Yeah, creepily.
Right?
He's just staring out the
Yeah,
window.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he calls Danny over. And
Second time with the mirror.
oh yeah.
Second
okay,
time with
yeah.
the mirror.
And this is sort of the most tender interaction he has with Danny.
But Danny
But
is
it's
not
creepy.
about Danny is not about it.
Yeah, it is really like Danny knows something's wrong, right?
Right. Which
then-
also lends to the abuse factor again.
Yeah.
He kind of does not want to be there. He just wants his fire engine and
Yeah.
get the hell out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. This one, Jack says, "I wish we could stay here forever,"
Right.
echoing the twins who said,
Right.
"Play with us forever and ever." Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's not unsettling at all.
No.
Yeah.
And especially the way he's talking to me. He talks all creepy and shit. And he's
Yeah.
like, I love you.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
And-
And then on top of that, he's got a bowl haircut. You know? His life couldn't be more fucked up right now.
He's got no chance. And Jack has a suspicion that Wendy never forgave him for hurting Danny, right?
That's right.
Like, he's bringing this up with Danny now.
Did your mother say that?
That's a lot to put on a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leading to the abusive factor.
It seems like this is an anxiety that kind of obsesses Jack.
Yeah,
Right? And
right.
it kind of gets amplified by whatever else is going on.
Right. Well, because he made that mistake. We don't know if he made other mistakes as well with dislocating Danny's shoulder.
I can't believe it's the only time.
You know, so,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, that was maybe the only time there was like a physical manifestation that he had to be taken to the doctor for that, right?
Right.
So there's a record of it. But I feel like there's other things that Wendy doesn't know or isn't talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like you said earlier, the way
Yeah.
she kind of glosses over
Yeah.
the fact that Jack hurt Danny.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so Danny's playing with his cars, and a ball rolls up from the hall.
Right.
And he goes to door 237.
But you saw how the rug changed in that scene, too?
Yeah,
Did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
I thought that was always a cool little thing, but people read into it.
I think it's continuity.
Yeah.
I think they had it set up one way before lunch.
So it would look great also with the ball rolling right towards him.
Yeah.
You know, with that line into the circle that he's playing in, the octagon
Yeah.
that he's playing in.
One thing is, kids aren't allowed to spend that much time on a movie shooting.
Right.
So if they used up the 2 hours and the kids got to go home, they set up the next day.
Right.
Continuity person didn't write down exactly how the rug looked, you know. And back then you couldn't take like pictures. Like,
right.
Like these days you could just like digital cam it.
Exactly.
And like see exactly how it looks.
Match.
You couldn't back then.
Even though they do that to this day, some movies it still doesn't match.
True.
Up.
Yeah.
Still doesn't
They
match.
don't
up.
take the time. Yeah.
So then,
yeah. So he goes to room 237.
Yep.
So there's a key in the lock, and the
Right.
door is open. Right. So we have no idea who did that.
No.
We're assuming it's a spirit entity or something, because why would anybody else do that? Danny wouldn't. Jack wouldn't do that. Wendy wouldn't do that.
Right. Because at that point, Jack is sitting in the gold room.
Wendy's checking the boilers.
Right.
She's doing Jack's
She's
job.
doing all the fucking work.
He's just writing, yeah. So he goes in there.
She's making pounds and pounds of fucking fruit cocktail, checking the boilers.
And she hears Jack yell.
Right.
And he's at his desk having a nightmare.
Up!
Oh, yeah. He's dreamt that he killed his wife and child and chopped them up.
And the fact that he tells her that is also fucking super creepy.
Wow, yeah.
I had the worst nightmare ever. The dream I chopped you and Danny up into tiny pieces. I'd be like, okay, divorce time. I'm calling the lawyer.
Yeah. And Danny shows up. He's got a bruise on his neck.
Yeah, and his thumb in his
he's
mouth.
sucking his thumb.
Yeah.
Like he's regressed to a more childlike state.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And Wendy thinks it was Jack.
Yeah.
Well, who else is there?
Right.
So
There's no one else there.
Yeah.
And you can see Jack crack even further after when he's sitting there. He's like, kind of trying to say I didn't do it, but he can't get the words out.
Yeah.
Because maybe he's not sure either.
He
Because
may
of
not be
all
sure.
the abuse that he's put on Wendy and Danny.
So he goes into the gold room. He's looking for a drink.
Yeah.
So he's coming
Sell
off the
my
wagon.
soul for a glass of beer.
Yeah. If you ever say that you're going to give up your soul for something, and then someone appears offering you that thing,
That's it.
you probably don't take that thing.
Right.
Right?
Go,
Just
wait a
don't
minute.
do it.
Hold on.
That's automatically a bad Faustian bargain, right?
Yep.
I mean, you should just know that. So Lloyd just shows up.
Or at least not for just a glass of beer.
I know. Yeah.
Or a bottle of Jack.
Go for more than that.
Right.
Lloyd, the bartender, appears with a full bar that was never there before. Mm-hmm. And Ullman established that there's no liquor
alcohol there,
held there during the winter for
Yeah.
insurance reasons.
Yep.
So it's not actually there, but it's in Jack's mind or something.
And he seems to get drunk, like the placebo effect
Yeah.
off it, you know?
He's complaining about Wendy.
Yeah, having trouble with the old sperm bank.
Now, oh God, yeah.
That he calls
Forgot
it the
about
sperm
that.
bank.
Forgot about that. Now, Jack says it was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Now,
when he
didn't
heard
she-
Danny.
Didn't she earlier say it was
5 months.
Well, she
Right.
said he was 5 months sober. So
Right, where's
you know what
there?
I mean?
Yeah. I
Right?
never made
There's
that connect
something
before,
not
yeah.
quite
right
there.
there. Yeah.
Things don't quite add up. So Wendy comes into the gold room. When she pops in, he's just sitting there alone.
Yeah.
There's no booze, nothing.
Right.
And then that's when Wendy says there's a crazy woman in room 237. Okay, talk
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
And he seems drunk when he says it.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, the placebo effect and the whole thing. When he's talking to Lloyd, that's a whole other conversation to touch on.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It's a great exposition for Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great piece for Jack Nicholson because he's so Jack Nicholson in it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's why King had a problem with his performance as well because it's more like a vehicle for Jack Nicholson at points as that character.
Okay.
Because he's just doing what he does. And
He
really
is,
hamming
yeah.
it up to a certain extent. Here and
Yeah.
there. Really hamming it up. Mm-hmm. All right, so now Jack goes to the room. He goes to room 237.
Yeah.
He walks in, and he's examining, he's looking around, investigating, and he walks into the bathroom, and there's a woman in the tub.
Yep.
And she stands up, she's completely nude, and she kind of does this whole come hither thing.
Yeah.
And he goes for it.
Yeah. Now, why would you do that?
Right.
Your wife is downstairs.
I'd be like, what the fuck are you
For
doing
one
here?
thing,
Nobody's supposed to
nobody's
be in
supposed
here.
To be here.
Right.
Yeah. So he's lost it.
Yeah, and once again, is there some infidelity that's been going on
Okay.
in the relationship?
Yeah.
Because there are points when they first get to the hotel where you see him looking at other women as they're leaving.
Okay.
There are glances.
Yeah.
So he's got a wandering eye.
Yeah.
So he jumps at the chance to, have sex with this woman, this strange woman that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
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 She comes out of nowhere.
Whew.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then what happens?
They hug each other. They start making out once again with the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
He looks in the mirror and sees that she's this elderly, decrepit, disease-ridden, maybe zombie lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he gets all freaked out and backs up, and she follows him, cackling away
Yeah.
like a witch and the whole thing.
Man. Yeah.
I don't know if he was that horny. Just bang it, man. Fuck it. Just go for it. Why not? Take a chance. Live a little. You could chalk it up to experience. I don't know. But it is a disturbing scene.
It's so disturbing. Yeah.
There are theories behind that too that I can't even get into.
The book explained that she was the spirit of someone who had committed suicide in that bathtub, I think.
Okay.
I believe, but
I
of
can't
course,
remember the novel at all, to be honest with you. It's been so many years.
Yeah, but none of that. That's all left ambiguous here.
Okay.
We don't.
It's just for creep factor.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
totally creep.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that these are spirits of former guests.
Sure.
In some way, shape, or form. We got to mention that we cut to Scatman Crothers in Miami.
Right. With his sweet pad.
His taste in art is interesting.
Right. With the nude paintings.
Yes.
Those afros.
I mean, it's really amazing.
It's very 70s, like, I forget what it was called, like velour paintings or whatever the hell it was.
He's got one behind him.
And one in front of him.
And one in front.
That was some sweet shit. That is some sweet decor, man.
So he has a vision of room 237, right? He has some flash of it, right? Doesn't he? Or what does he see?
Danny, he sends him
Danny's communicating to him
sends him
in some way. Yeah.
Psychic email.
Vision. And he's kind of having a little seizure or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing it. Danny's in his bedroom and he's freaking out, kind of twitching around, sending this image to Dick Halloran. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And it's funny that we're at the same part. You hear the...
Oh, yeah. Funny, yeah.
You're like, funny.
So he flies up there, right?
Yeah,
he's
does.
on his way up.
First, he tries to contact the hotel.
Yeah, there's no way.
And he can't get through.
Yeah.
The lines are down and the whole thing. And then, he flies back up from Florida.
Yeah. So Jack tells Wendy he saw nothing in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Danny's lying in bed with his eyes wide open. He sees red rum for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? Blood in the hallway. And then Jack accuses Wendy of fucking up his life.
Yeah. You fucked up my life so far. You're not going to fuck this up for me.
Yeah. Ugh.
But when he leaves, he does this angry glance at the camera. Did you ever catch that? It's a slight little angry glance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when he goes past, you see that the glance was meant for Danny's room.
Okay.
Like he's blaming Danny again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So he goes to the gold room again. Now there's a party going on. Yeah. And drinks are just showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His money's no good there.
His money's no good there. Yeah.
Hi, Lloyd.
And then the waiter, who's Delbert Grady, not Charles Grady, but Delbert Grady.
Yeah.
So what is going on with that?
See, I read that they're supposed to represent the duality of Jack as well.
Okay. Among the Gradys?
That he had it and now Jack has it.
Okay.
So that's what I read. I don't know if I buy it too much.
Yeah.
Out of all the theories, that does make a little more sense to me.
Okay.
I don't buy it completely.
Yeah.
But it's a subtle thing. And like you said, since we've seen this movie so many times, like we've talked about already, we've picked up on these little things over time.
So Delbert says that he was not the caretaker, but he does have a wife and 2 daughters. Right?
Wait a minute, though. First, he spills his avocado all over his jacket.
When they're outside. Yeah.
And then they go to the men's room.
Then they go to the men's room.
Right.
That's when they start talking. Yeah. And Grady tells them, you've always been the caretaker.
Right.
I've always been here, right?
First, he says, I heard about you, Mr. Grady.
Yeah. Because,
does the whole story.
Yeah.
And that's another time with the mirror.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily look at Grady.
Okay.
He's looking at the mirror behind him, talking to himself almost. Not the whole time, but he's looking in the mirror.
Okay.
You know, I heard you chopped up your family into little bits, and I've heard about you, Mr. Grady, on the news.
Yeah.
And then he says, you were the caretaker here. I hate to differ with you, sir, but
yeah.
You've always been the caretaker. I should know. I've always been here.
Do you know who that actor is?
Yeah, he was the dad in Clockwork Orange.
Yes, exactly.
But he's so creepy in this.
Yeah.
Well, and then what he talks about with his wife and kids.
Yeah.
His daughters stole a pack of matches and tried to burn the Overlook down. But I corrected them.
Wow.
And when my wife tried to stop me from doing my duty, I corrected her.
Yeah.
See, there's a connection there once again with the abuse with Jack. And
Yeah.
So, he's so creepy in that shit.
So then you have to wonder, does Jack, by having this history of this anger towards his family, is that just make him vulnerable to these spirits occupying him,
Perhaps,
with his possession?
I wonder why they would paint
because
that men's room red.
Every winter, there's another caretaker, right?
Yeah, you would assume.
And they haven't all gone crazy. I mean, at this point, there hasn't been one since 1970.
Since 70, right.
Yeah, so it's not like they all get assailed by the spirits.
Right.
It's Jack because maybe he's
open to.
Yeah, by having this dark thing inside him,
right.
he is more open to this happening. You know what I mean?
Well, I also thought maybe perhaps it's a speculation, but maybe he also can shine not as powerfully as Danny or Halloran, but maybe he has that as well where he's open to.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a speculation. It's a speculation.
We never see any real sign of that.
Well, he starts seeing things here and there, like we talked about already.
He sees things, but I'm wondering if he sees things in a different way than Danny's seeing them. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
Like you know what I'm saying? For him, it's not the shining. There's a possession thing going on.
It could go, yeah. No, I see what you're saying. That he's already got this darkness in him. It's just he's already kind of fucked up.
It's like there's no sign that he can communicate psychically with other people.
No,
with Danny, there's no ever any sign that he can communicate psychically with Danny.
Right.
With the shining thing.
Well, I mean, there could be different degrees of that sort of power. I don't know.
That gets complicated.
Yeah, I mean, I read comic books, so so he can't do the same thing Danny can. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
I don't know. I thought about it for half a second.
It is a theory. It is something that people have come up with, yeah.
No, I think it's more because he has this small part of him that's inherently evil.
Yeah, that's what I think is going on.
These demons or these ghosts can control him.
And Grady accuses Danny of trying to bring an outside party into the situation.
Halloran, he knows, he knows.
Yeah, so he knows that that's
going on. They communicated with Halloran.
Yeah.
And that's another harsh scene, too. The language and the whole thing. It's like, you know. And I think they did that mostly for shock value as well. And it also shows the side of Jack, that he's so willing to be that negative about
and I'm wondering
people.
If that is sort of telling us that this Delbert Grady is not the Grady of 1970, but from
the
era.
20s or 30s. Right.
Yeah, which is party that's going on is like 20s, 30s, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's much old. It's not 1970.
It's all the June bug and shit.
Yeah. The June bug, the Charleston.
Right, exactly.
Do you know what the June bug is even?
I just know you got to shake your finger around. That's all. You kind of kick your heels up.
Okay, all right. The stylings of the jazz era, courtesy of Walt.
Right. That's going to be a separate podcast.
All right, so Wendy's trying to work things out. She's talking out loud to herself, right?
Right.
And this one, Danny says red rum, but he says it in a Tony voice, right?
Red rum.
So this is the first time Tony speaks through his mouth instead of through his finger.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not doing the finger thing. Jack disables the transmitter.
He's not doing the finger thing.
I know. See. I don't think I got that one past you.
It almost got past me.
Almost got past you. Almost.
I almost got the finger.
So Scatman is on his way.
You just can't call him Dick, can you?
It's Halloran. Dick Halloran, yeah.
Just call him Richard.
Richard. So Wendy leaves Danny to find Jack.
Right.
And this is when she finds the thing he's been working on all this time.
Right.
Yep. And that's creepy.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Like he's been sitting
there. It's a whole ream of paper,
time.
like we were saying earlier. A whole ream of paper.
Yeah. And like weird different designs and formatting and shit.
Right. Like prose and then paragraphs and then poet. Yeah. It's weird. It's very
super
strange.
Freaky. And Jack comes down.
Right.
Starts mocking her, threatening her.
Right.
It's really brutal. Like
backs her up to the stairs.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. He's gone full out.
We need to do something about Danny.
Oh man.
You know.
It's really, really unsettling to see.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really fucks with her.
Yeah. She knocks him out with a baseball bat.
Yeah. Wendy, light of my life, darling, you didn't let me finish my sentence. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. Bash him right the fuck in. Wendy, stop swinging the bat. Wendy. He's flicking his tongue at her in the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Shelley's performance once we get through the synopsis. I mean, so she gets him. Yeah. She cracks him one.
Yeah. Oh, we should point out that. So at this point, the inner titles that tell you the timing, now they're like hour by hour.
Right.
Or first one was 8 a.m. and then we get to 4 p.m. and then it's like it's constricting. Time is closing in on us. Is the feeling? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like before, it was
as it is on them.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's been in the storage locker, and then
she drags him in there. Yeah.
People point out that when it's opened, he hears Grady on the other side. That this is the single indication that there is like an actual presence operating, right? You know, because otherwise, who else could open the storage locker?
Could open that up, yeah. Could open up that food locker.
Yeah, but when you think about it, who opened up room 237?
True.
You know, who would have done that?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of the stuff that's going on distracts from the supernatural presence.
Okay.
You know, all the things that we're talking about, the domestic abuse and what's going on with this family. But there is actually, in my mind, a real supernatural presence.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people have interpreted this as, well, no, they're not really seeing anything, they're just nuts, but
how did that door get open?
Yeah, I think there actually is something going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like you said, 237,
Yeah,
the food locker.
And this one, Danny takes the knife. He's written red rum.
He's in a trance.
Yeah.
Rum,
and
red rum.
How do you read this? What is he doing?
He had a vision, so he's kind of trying to warn.
It seems like he's trying to
his
warn Wendy,
mother,
right?
his mother about what's about to happen.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I saw it too.
But once again, the mirror thing.
Yeah,
the mirror thing plays a big part.
It's true
in this film.
Yeah. So what do you think's up with the mirrors?
I can't really peg it down, but it's a way to look into what's happening without actually seeing what's real.
Okay.
You know? For lack of a better way for me to put it, it's kind of like seeing what's happening but not the real world.
Okay.
It's also, when you look in a mirror, things are reversed.
They're skewed in some way.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's possibly what's happening.
Okay.
This is maybe 4 or 5 times where it happens in the movie with the mirror reflections.
Yeah.
And Danny writes red rum pretty much backwards for murder. And when she sees that, that's when Jack comes back.
Right. So is he sensing that Jack's coming for her at this point?
I would think so.
And which he does manage to wake her up. And because then that's when he attacks with the axe, right?
Yeah.
And then she ends up in the bathroom with Danny, right?
She gets Danny out the window.
Yeah, and you see him going at it with the axe.
Wendy, I'm home.
Yeah. And then I love the panning effect. Because it just enhances the physicality of that axe action, right?
Yeah.
It's in real time, so you really just feel like her terror, you know?
Actually, the props people built a door that was easy to break through.
Yeah.
But Nicholson was a fireman at one point, or a volunteer fireman. And
so he destroyed it?
So they had to put a real door in there for him to break through. So to show you the crazy of Nicholson, you know?
The crazy of Nicholson. That's a podcast of its own. Okay.
So he breaks the fucking door down.
Yeah.
She slices his hand with the knife that she has.
Right, yeah.
And then we hear Halloran driving up in the snowcat.
And it was Danny that kind of gave her the knife, right? Because he was carrying it.
Yeah, he was
carrying it. So it's like he was...
trying to protect his mother in some way.
Exactly, yeah. And Halloran comes up and just gets it.
Straight up in the chest with an axe.
So let me ask you this. There's a long setup to Halloran going all the way from Miami, getting on a plane, and he's trying to get a car, and you see him on the road, and like you see every stage of his journey.
Yeah, right.
Only to just be, like, you expect him to come and do something significant.
To get dusted, to
but
get off.
Right when he shows up, he gets...
Bam!
What do you think is the intent of that?
You know...
Playing with expectation?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. It's you would think that he's going to go up there and correct the situation somehow.
Do something.
Help them escape.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But those hopes are dashed right there.
Yeah.
And this is Jack's first kill.
It's his only kill.
Right, pretty much. Yeah, that's correct, yeah. That's basically it in the movie.
Yeah.
Just the one kill.
It's another low body count horror movie.
Halloran gets it.
Yeah.
And you feel bad because he's such a great character.
Yeah.
And he has the best of intentions. I think the beginning of that kind of trope in a horror movie where the good guy gets it.
Yeah.
You know? I know the first time I saw it, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, no.
At all.
Not at all.
I did not expect him to get it like that.
And that does not happen in the book.
Right.
So it could be a way of playing with those who've read the novel and think they know what's going to happen.
Well, this is more, like I said, like we talked about already, Kubrick's vision.
Yeah.
And I think it's really effective. But anyhow.
Yeah.
All right, so Dick gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. Yeah. Danny's been hiding, and he runs from his hiding place. And you hear voices on the soundtrack.
Right.
Right? Like these eerie...
howling and...
Yeah.
tongues clicking and rolling.
Yeah.
Like we get in the beginning, too. Mm-hmm. You know, there's all these weird ethereal kind of noises and sounds going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know.
And Wendy's running, and so this is when she starts seeing things.
She starts seeing stuff,
So why?
I know, interesting.
Why now?
Right.
Like,
right.
we know why Danny sees things. We kind of know why Jack sees things. Why is Wendy seeing things? Is it because, like, now the spirits are fully unleashed or something?
that's what I would think. You know, the supernatural aspect of the Overlook has been awakened.
She sees a bear suit thing.
Oh, that's fucked up.
That's a zoom.
Yeah.
That's one of the few zooms in the movie.
That is fucked up. Like this guy in a bear costume giving head to some
furry
other
thing
dude.
Going on.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing.
Furries?
Yeah, I didn't
You
know
didn't
that was
a thing.
Because I'm kind of straight-laced when it comes to...
Oh, right. When did you find this out?
Fairly recently, looking up stuff about this movie.
Wait. You've only just found out that furries is a thing?
I'm sticking to that, yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I'm sticking to that. Who wants to dress up like a fucking Teletubby and give head to somebody? I don't know. You know, dress up like Tigger from fucking Winnie the Pooh.
I'm glad I was here to hear that.
But that is a fucked up scene. Oh, there's another connection there, too.
Yeah.
When you go back to Danny, when he had his seizure back in Boulder in their apartment.
There's a bear pillow?
Yeah, the bear pillow. I read, there's a connection there. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. That's not right. That's just not right.
So this one guy who did a YouTube video about it, he tracked down that pillow online.
Really?
And he discovered that on the original pillow the eyes were different, so that Kubrick somebody altered the eyes.
Really?
To make them more sinister.
Oh shit.
In the movie, yeah.
Damn.
Somebody tracked down this detail.
Wow.
Right?
I mean, I'm a fan, I'm a geek, but I don't want that shit.
I'm gonna have to post a link to this guy's page because he went way deeper.
Did he get the bear costume too?
I don't know.
With the hatch, the back hatch open?
Yeah,
the ass hatch?
Yeah, that was
That's fucked up.
Crazy shit.
And she sees all the worst of it.
She sees the guy with a wound in his head.
Yeah. Great party, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the skeletons and the cobwebs.
That's a little more pedestrian.
It's a little like Disney haunted house.
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Like, come on. Kubrick could
I
do
mean, I
better
like
than that.
skeletons, but you know.
Yeah. She sees the blood from the elevators.
Yeah.
Too.
Right.
So she's full in now. And Danny's out in the hedge maze. Jack's chasing her. Right.
Chasing him, yeah. Yep.
He's howling like an animal.
Right.
Because he's been in there enough times that he knows the layout, right?
You're talking about Danny.
Danny.
Yeah.
In the hedge,
Yeah, because we saw them walk through. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
this
he
is
knows.
Jack's first time in there.
Right.
So, of course, Danny knows how to evade him in there.
And there was some foreshadowing before that where he looks at the model of the maze, remember? Where Jack looks over the model.
Yeah, true. Too bad he didn't study that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So Wendy and Danny escape in the snowcat, and Jack is just frozen.
After Danny backtracks in the whole thing.
Yeah, smart.
He kicks his dad loose in the maze.
Smart kid. Yeah, this is, you really see him just come alive and...
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, the guy's chasing him with an axe. I mean, you're going to figure out. You know, your dad's chasing you with an axe? Fuck this.
Well, you could be so terrified that you're in shock and...
You just freeze.
Yeah, exactly.
No pun intended.
He's thinking it out.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
So he gets the hell out of there.
Yeah, and then you see Jack frozen solid.
Yeah.
Basically. With that grin frozen on his face.
Right, that grimace.
And then what do you see? The final tag ending.
Oh, with the picture back at the gold room?
Yeah.
Where Jack is at the lead of the party.
Uh-huh.
And it says July 4th, I think, 1927? 1921.
So how do you read that?
That's always confused me.
It's always confused me, too.
That's always confused me, to be completely honest.
Me, too.
You have Grady saying, you've always been here.
Yeah.
You've always been the caretaker.
Let me ask you this. When they arrived at the Overlook, was Jack's image in that picture?
You don't really see that.
You don't know.
Yeah, you have no idea. I think it's a cool, creepy ending. It's kind of, once again...
But how do you take it? How do you read it?
Like I said, I just take it as creepy. I don't know what to make of it either. And I didn't read any more theories on the ending and the whole nine.
There's tons of theories.
If it's afterlife or you know, or...
I'm not in the reincarnation.
Reincarnation, thank you.
Not,
yes, that's what I was reaching for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
The way I kind of want to see it is that now that he has been possessed by the spirits and he's died at the hotel, now he is somehow preserved there.
Collected.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
collected with all the other spirits that inhabit this place.
Right. From maybe when it started in 21.
Yeah.
Maybe when the haunting started or
that's
when the bad shit started.
That's kind of where I go with it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense to me, actually.
Yeah. I do have a couple of bits.
Max's bit!
You know where the title comes from?
The Shining?
The Shining, yeah.
No.
John Lennon song, Instant Karma.
Really?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Really?
We all shine on. That's where King got the title.
Really?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, like the moon and the stars and the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I did not know that. That's a
Yeah.
good bit.
And let me ask you something. Okay, so everything in here is brightly lit.
Yeah.
Why do horror movies usually take place in the dark?
It's scarier.
Why?
Aesthetically, it's easier
Yeah.
to be scared in the dark.
Yeah. Why?
Just because it is. It's a fact. People are more afraid of the dark and what can happen to you that you can't see coming.
Because you can't see it coming, right?
Because you can't see it. Whatever it is attacking you. I think it's a lot more crazy to be afraid in brightly lit situations.
Yeah, because this is brightly lit.
Yeah, it is.
Throughout most of the entire movie. Yeah, very,
you get
very
the
few things happen in
one
the
dark scene, and that's the skeletons.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting approach, right?
Right.
And it almost makes it a little creepier in a way.
Okay. Yeah.
And, and it's an interesting effect, though.
Well, what Kubrick was doing, I mean, he was a master of the craft.
Yeah.
So he knew that he didn't have to film everything in the dark.
Yeah.
It's right in your face.
Yeah. Kubrick, in commenting about what he's trying to do with the movie, he talked about the fear of the monster inside of someone whom you think you know very well.
Yeah, no,
Right?
yeah.
A person can transform due to anger or insanity or due to something like alcohol. That's where he was kind of going with this.
Well, you can see that.
Which, yeah, you can totally
He
see.
really pulled that off,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, let's talk about the mirror thing.
Okay.
All right, so Jack's reflection, first time he wakes up, like we talked about, the apartment at the overlook, and Wendy serves him breakfast.
Yeah.
His shot is reflected. It takes a while for the shot to change. This is the first time we see him looking at himself where he checks his tongue for some odd reason.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's an old
Who
school
does do
thing
that?
to,
Yeah.
you know, see if you're sick or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, like it's green or
Yeah,
what?
right.
Like, yeah.
Right. What color would
Yeah.
it be besides, you know, red? I don't know.
Yeah, it's forked. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Hope it's not forked yet. Or maybe it should get forked. So Danny, fire engine, like we talked about. Jack is sitting there staring out the window.
Yeah,
When
okay.
he calls Danny over, you see his reflection.
Yeah.
Third time, 237, like we said.
Yeah.
When he sees the woman for what she really is, a
Yeah.
zombie, whatever the hell. And then the fourth time is in the restroom with Grady.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth time, like we talked about, is with Danny
Yeah.
and Red Rum. So the reflection thing plays a big part in this.
Don't quite know where to go with that.
Right. But
Yeah,
I've noticed
but
it.
it's
The last
it
few
is
times I
in there.
watched this
Yeah.
movie, I really noticed the mirror image.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's very interesting to me. I don't know what to make of it, but obviously there's something going on there.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like we talked about already. Reality is not real. It's skewed to a certain extent. Maybe you view yourself in the mirror not necessarily how you are.
Yeah.
Who knows? Or maybe
Okay.
it's a doorway.
Yeah.
The other
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Other little bits, well, Scatman Carruthers was the voice of Hong Kong Phooey in the cartoons. I used to love that. I used to love that show. Philip Stone was in Barry Lyndon,
Okay.
Clockwork Orange, like we talked about. He was also in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
As who?
Captain Blumbert.
Oh, is that the British officer
Yeah.
you see for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
him. He's in that. I figured I'd pick out movies that we know.
Yeah.
Because he has long IMDb credits as
Okay.
well. Tony Burton, who was the guy that supplied the Snowcat to Scatman.
Oh, okay.
He was in 6 Rocky movies playing the corner man.
Oh, really?
And he was actually a real heavyweight boxer in
okay.
real life. So.
Yeah.
And Joe Turkel,
Oh,
Lloyd,
yeah.
Blade Runner.
He was Terrell, yeah.
Terrell and Blade
Yeah.
Runner. And this was Danny Lloyd's first and only movie. The kid
Yeah,
that played Danny.
yeah.
And Kubrick was very protective of him.
Yeah,
on set.
I hear that his experience, he actually had fun. Kubrick shot it in a way that he wasn't really exposed to what the movie is really about.
He thought he was filming a drama.
Yeah.
That's what Kubrick told him.
Okay.
So much so, this scene that we talked about where Jack is typing and Wendy comes in and Danny's coming from room 237, he didn't want him to be in the entire scene. So when Wendy is carrying him away, that's a dummy.
Oh, interesting.
That's
okay,
not
never noticed
that's
that.
not
yeah.
Danny. That's
Yeah.
a dummy.
Huh.
Because he didn't want him to hear the rest of the dialogue. He just told him,
Yeah,
walk
okay.
in with your thumb in your mouth, and then we're
Yeah.
going to cut from there.
You ever see that trailer that one guy did that recut this movie to make it look like it was like a heartwarming story about a single guy who finds love with his family? Did you ever see that? It was a thing.
No, I
Like
haven't.
several years ago. Yeah.
I know people do that nowadays
Yeah,
online
yeah,
with certain
yeah.
movies, but no, I haven't seen
Yeah.
that one.
Okay, it's funny. It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll post the link.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Jack Nicholson was Kubrick's first choice. Other actors considered, did you know about this?
Who?
Robert De Niro.
Huh.
Because it was kind of early
Okay.
in his career. De Niro claims that the script gave him nightmares.
But I'm not
And he
surprised.
turned down the project.
He could have just done Travis Bickle in this movie and called it a day,
Right.
basically.
Robin Williams.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Right. What do you mean? I'm Jack Torrance.
That, yeah.
You know?
That would have been a weird movie.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huh.
And Harrison Ford.
Okay.
King was involved in the early development of the movie, and he said no to all 3 actors.
Okay.
He said nope, nope, nope.
So who did he want?
He didn't want anybody, but he said no to those guys. He said no to De Niro, to Ford, and Williams.
Huh, okay.
Oh, there was also an epilogue to the film. Did you hear about this?
I did hear about this, yeah.
That was...
deleted scene thing, right?
Yeah. At the very end of the film, Wendy's in the hospital, and Ullman goes to visit her, and basically says, police went all over the hotel. Everything that you're talking about, they didn't find a trace. So if you want, you and Danny can stay with me for a little while. And then it kind of cuts to credits.
Okay.
That played in theaters for about a weekend or so. And then Kubrick pulled it, and then cut it, and then put the movie back out. That's probably the first time that's ever happened with a film.
Yeah, I think it works better this way.
Absolutely.
It's more ambiguous,
I agree.
you know?
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. All right, well, I think we've covered this one to death, right?
Fuck
yeah. If anybody really wants to go down the rabbit hole, just see the documentary Room 237.
Yeah.
I'll post a couple things on the Facebook as well, where if you really want to, you can see some crazy stuff. I mean, like, people have mapped out the locations.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know,
like they
yeah,
just go really, really deep in this movie.
And if you know something that we didn't mention, please let us know.
Yeah,
Let us
there's
know.
a thousand things we didn't mention about this movie.
Oh yeah, there's the moon landing thing with Kubrick.
Oh my God, I can't. I just can't. That is, to me, stupid on so many levels.
That he filmed it in all nine.
One level, just the whole faking the moon landing thing.
Right.
The other thing, just that Kubrick did it.
Right.
And that if he did it, he feels so guilty that he's going to
apologize
give
with
a
this
coded
movie.
apology
Right. With
in another
Danny's
movie.
sweaters
Oh
and-
my
yeah.
God. So my understanding about the sweater is that Kubrick wanted something homemade, like a homemade sweater.
Okay.
So he requested that, I guess, members of the crew, you know, like, go home, check around, and see what you got.
Right.
So they brought up like 8 sweaters that,
Okay.
like, you know, wives and mothers had knitted.
The Mickey Mouse, the
Yeah.
Apollo 18 or whatever it
Or
was.
yeah, or whatever, like just various like little, because he wanted a handmade look. He wanted the implication that Wendy had knit the sweater for Danny.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Yeah, that's what he wanted out of it. And he just looked at him and he said, "Okay, I'll take this one. That one looks cool."
It was so not a thing.
Yeah.
But I love the theories. I have to admit, I love the theories.
They're wacky and they're fun.
They're fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you devote your entire website,
Oh my God.
their entire website's devoted to.
The idea that the number of cars in the parking lot has some significance.
Right.
There's no way,
Right.
no way that the second unit director who took those shots had the chance to specify how many cars were going to be in that parking lot.
Exactly. Yeah. And
just-
posters in the background of the
like
game room, and
People don't understand how movies are made is part of the problem. Like we talk about
Right.
continuity errors.
right.
It just, like, we know that Kubrick is incredibly meticulous.
Yes.
But you cannot possibly have control over every
Everything.
little aspect.
Yeah,
of a
no,
movie.
it's impossible.
Yeah.
It is impossible.
Yeah.
As much as he tried.
Yeah, he tried. Yeah, he was a perfectionist. Yeah.
But I mean, it comes
Yeah.
across in so many other ways with the sets.
It does,
and,
yeah, it does.
Costuming and lighting and the
Yeah.
cinematography,
Yeah.
the whole thing. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
these other little things, what did it take? 5 years to make this movie?
It was a long
Of course,
time,
there's
yeah.
going to be moments where
Yeah.
okay, we moved that chair and forgot about it, or that poster's hanging over there.
Yeah.
Now it's gone.
And he would take multiple takes of things, like
Yeah.
a crazy number of takes.
Well, yeah. Once again,
We'll
we got-
actually talk about Shelley Duvall.
Yeah,
right?
147. I think it's 147 takes
Of
in that scene with her and Jack Nicholson.
yeah, okay.
The abusive scene where she's backing up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, she freaked out. Her
Yeah.
hair was falling out. She had a nervous breakdown pretty
Yeah.
much filming that. And she said it was the most terrible movie that she ever worked on.
Yeah.
It was very, very strenuous for her. And you see it in the performance.
Nicholson
I mean,
gets all the credit, but I think she does an incredible job in this movie.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think she's so good in this movie.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, people kind of diminish her role. I don't think so.
I don't think
she's
so.
very, very good.
I think the poor woman, though, to go through that kind of hell
Yeah.
to make a film.
Yeah.
But it shows in the performance, though. She's brilliant.
Yeah, and,
She's
and
brilliant.
You do want her to stand up more.
Yeah, of
like
course.
you really want that. And the
At the
fact
end,
that she
she does.
doesn't, yeah, she does.
At the end.
But the fact that she doesn't through most, it's heartbreaking.
Right.
It's difficult to watch. match that.
But that's per the character.
Exactly.
And that's what drives these characters.
And unfortunately, that happens all too often in a domestic relationship. You know, it's just horrible, but it's real.
No, I know.
It's actually real. Yeah.
I hate to admit it. I've known people like that, and it's difficult to help them.
Yeah. I mean, this movie it cuts to the bone. It gets you in many places.
But no, I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you can see why after a movie like this, she went and made Popeye or whatever.
Yeah. You know? I mean, yeah.
Light fare.
I would make only Popeye if I had to go through this movie.
So
yeah,
but no, it's a brilliant movie.
Yeah,
I know King doesn't like it, like we talked about, because it's not his vision.
Yeah,
but this is strictly
fine.
Straight up.
I mean, the
Kubrick.
book is still there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, more people have read his book because of this movie than would have otherwise. Right? Like if this movie didn't exist, who would think about that novel?
Well, I think didn't it happen at the time where it was a bestseller, and then the movie comes out, and then of course it's bestseller again.
Yeah, exactly. Know? Yeah.
So
I don't think you should complain that much.
Right.
Yeah, I heard he's doing a sequel, or did he write a sequel?
He wrote a sequel,
and they're making a movie out of the sequel.
Dr. Sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. But is that more based on the novel or probably more the novel, right?
The novel. The movie that they're going to make is based on the novel that he wrote, the sequel. Last I heard, Ewan McGregor is supposed to play Danny.
Really?
That's the last I heard. I don't know about this.
Is he going to have a bowl cut?
He should. Have the mo cut. So
how old is he now? He's like Ewan
McGregor.
Yeah, how old is he now?
I don't know.
He's going to play a way.
I don't know that guy.
A way grown up Danny. Then
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't read Dr. Sleep, but I hear that it's good.
Okay.
I hear that it's pretty cool. Karen's read it.
Okay.
So we'd have to ask her, but she's not here right now.
Yeah, she didn't want to be here.
Yeah, she was like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah, exactly. She's actually having fun right now.
Right.
It's
Thanks, man.
Friday night, people.
Thanks.
Yeah,
man.
this is how dedicated we are. We're spending our Friday night doing this. We love you people.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we can wrap this one up, right? Well, so this is one of the top horror movies.
Yeah.
On so many levels. I think we've covered it.
This is one of the big ones.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for me anyway.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So far we got The Exorcist and The Shining.
Yeah.
So I guess it's time for the coin toss.
Coin toss. We got a toss. Who tosses now? I think you toss. I toss. Right. You toss. Who tosses?
Who tosses? Who tosses who?
Yeah.
Toss my salad.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Tails.
You got it.
Oh, whoa! No way.
You got it. Yep.
No way. I won one finally.
You got it.
Okay.
Tails.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not prepared, but you know what? We have been covering some classics of horror.
Yes.
On this podcast.
Yeah.
I want to get into one that might end up being a classic 20 years from now or so.
Okay.
But so I'm going to put that out there, and I want to get into this one. I want to do The Witch.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. Let's get a little contemporary.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that sounds great to me, man.
Cool. Okay.
Awesome. Let's do that.
Okay, so we are, as always, Useless Info Inc., and you can find our podcast on WordPress and Podomatic and iTunes and Google Play and YouTube, of course. We're big on YouTube, and you can talk to us on the Twitters and the Facebooks and all over the place.
All over the place.
Right.
No reason not to hit us up.
That's right.
I'm Walt.
I am Max.
Stay scared.
Very scared. Shine on.
Stanley. Forever and ever and ever.